Stand by. Oh, there I am. What's up, party people? KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios, transmitting live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, all at the same time. Ooh, this technology, it's great. Can I keep up with it? I do not know. But I am going to try to keep up with all the chats on all the various lives. I have the Twitch up. The Twitch up. I feel like I'm twitching up. I have the Twitch up. I have the YouTube and the Facebook as well. All right. Once again, KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. This is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability, get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Hey, if you want, you can check out me doing some gaming while you're on Twitch. Add me on Twitch and Facebook Gaming, and you could find me, hashtag KeysDAN Gaming. It's kind of fun. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. Maybe I'm too old for Fortnite. Am I too old for Fortnite? Am I questioning myself? You know, a great philosopher once said, if there's a doubt, there is no doubt. So if I'm doubting that I might be too old to be playing video games, I might be too old. It's possible. It's possible. But, you know, it's all, in fact, likely. Trying to figure out the YouTube chat. Okay, I could see the chat there. I'm going to say something in there. Let's see. Say hi. I will say hi in all the chats to see if I'm doing it right. I say this is the What Makes You Smarter. This is the What Makes You Smarter. I have DJ Peter out there saying happy National DJ. It is. It is. And I may address that a little bit later. But, yeah. National DJ Day. DJ Peter out there in Miami, Florida, my old stomping grounds, my home. I do miss Miami quite a bit. From time to time here in Central Arkansas is where I hang my hat. DJLittleRock.com. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Thursday, January 20th, 2022. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Supreme Court rejects Trump bid to block documents from January 6th committee. The Supreme Court on Wednesday rejected former President Donald Trump's request to block the release of some of his White House records to the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack. Trump tried to use executive privilege to keep his White House records secret, but President Biden has signed off on letting the National Archives give more than 700 documents to lawmakers to help shine light on what Trump and his aides did before, during, and after the riot. The Supreme Court, with only Justice Clarence Thomas publicly dissenting, let stand an appeals court ruling that said providing a full accounting of the attempt to overturn the election result was more important than Trump's desire to keep his White House communications secret. This is according to CNN and the New York Times. Number 2, Biden defends record and blast Republicans as first year ends. President Biden marked the end of his first year in office by holding his first news conference in 10 months, highlighting his accomplishments, acknowledging COVID-19 frustrations, and accusing Republicans of stalling his agenda with obstructionism. Biden said Republican lawmakers are afraid to do anything former President Donald Trump doesn't like, saying they were intimidated by him. The criticism contrasted with his tone a year ago when he came into office predicting that partisan gridlock would ease during his presidency. Biden vowed to pursue a scaled-down version of the $2 trillion proposal to expand the social safety net and fight climate change, saying it will be split into smaller bills, and predicted Russian President Vladimir Putin would, quote, move in, unquote, to Ukraine, but regret it. This is according to the Washington Post and Los Angeles Times. Number 3, GOP blocks voter protection as Democrats fail to change filibuster. Democrats on Wednesday failed to push their voting rights legislation through the Senate, lacking the votes to overcome a Republican filibuster. Moderate Democratic Senators Joe Manchin, Democrat West Virginia, and Kirsten Sinema, Democrat Arizona, blocked an effort by their party to change Senate rules to let the measure pass with a simple majority in the evenly divided chamber, instead of the 60 votes needed to overcome a filibuster. That effectively killed the voter protections that President Biden and leading Democratic lawmakers saw as a top priority. Democrats say that beefing up federal voting rights protections is necessary to counter voting restrictions passed by Republican-controlled state legislatures. Republicans say Democrats are misrepresenting the state laws to grab more power. This is according to the Wall Street Journal and the Associated Press. Number 4, Biden administration offering free N95 masks. The Biden administration announced Wednesday that it was making highly efficient N95 masks available to the public, 3 per person, free of charge, as part of its stepped up efforts to fight the record-breaking COVID-19 surge driven by the fast-spreading Omicron variant. The government will send 400 million non-surgical N95 masks to community health centers and pharmacies across the country in what officials described as the, quote, largest deployment of personal protective equipment in U.S. history, end quote. N95 respirators, when used correctly, filter 95% of airborne particles. The announcement came on the day the Biden administration officially launched a website it is using to let every American family order 4 free at-home COVID-19 tests to be delivered by the United States Postal Service. This is according to the New York Times. Number 5, University of Michigan agrees to $490 million sexual abuse settlement. The University of Michigan has agreed to pay $490 million to settle lawsuits by 1,050 former athletes and other students who say they were sexually assaulted by the former football team doctor, the late Dr. Robert Anderson. Lawyers for the plaintiffs and the university announced Wednesday. The suits accused the university's administration of failing to act after learning of alleged sexual assaults by Anderson, who worked at the school from 1968 to 2003 and died in 2008. The university said $460 million of the settlement money will go to the initial claimants, and $30 million will be set aside for other victims who might decide to participate in the settlement before the end of July 2023. This is according to the Detroit Free Press. Number 6, Boris Johnson says UK will ease COVID restrictions. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Wednesday that his government would ease coronavirus restrictions in England. The so-called Plan B rules were put into place to curb the COVID-19 wave driven by the fast-spreading Omicron coronavirus variant, and included mask requirements, guidance for working from home, and vaccination passports. Quote, "Our scientists believe that the Omicron wave has now peaked nationally," end quote, Johnson said, explaining the new policy. The announcement of the lifting of the tighter restrictions came as Johnson faces calls to resign and broad criticism over a series of parties at his office during lockdowns. This is according to the Washington Post. Number 7, CIA doubts Havana syndrome caused by hostile foreign actor. The CIA has determined it's unlikely that, quote, Havana syndrome, end quote, a mysterious set of symptoms first detected among U.S. diplomats in Cuba, is the result of a sustained global campaign by a hostile foreign actor. NBC News and the New York Times reported late Wednesday, citing CIA officials familiar with a new intelligence assessment. Most of the 1,000 cases reported by U.S. diplomats and spies have plausible alternative explanations, like undiagnosed medical conditions, environmental causes, or stress. But the agency could not rule out foreign involvement in 24 cases, including many of those affected people at the U.S. Embassy in Havana starting in 2016. NBC News reported. A group of victims said in a statement that the interim findings, quote, must not be the final words on the matter, end quote. This is according to NBC News and the New York Times. Number 8, French actor Gaspard Uliel dies at 37 in a ski accident. Award-winning French actor Gaspard Uliel, who played Hannibal Lecter and stars in Marvel's upcoming show Moon Knight, died Wednesday in a ski accident in the Alps. He was 37. Uliel collided with another skier at the intersection of two runs and suffered brain trauma. He was taken to a hospital by helicopter but died of his injuries. Uliel starred as Hannibal Lecter in 2007's Hannibal's Rising, and in 2017 he won the Caesar Award for Best Actor for his role in It's Only the End of the World. He was previously nominated for the award for the playing fashion designer Yves Saint Laurent in 2014's Saint Laurent, and was awarded Most Promising Actor for 2004's A Very Long Engagement. He was also the face of Bleu de Chanel, the Chanel fragrance. Uliel is survived by his girlfriend, Gaëlle Pietri, and their 6-year-old son. This is according to France 24 and Deadline. Number 9, vaccination and prior infection, both protected against COVID-19, against COVID, CDC study says. Coronavirus vaccination and natural immunity from prior infection both protect people against new COVID-19 cases, but vaccinations are more effective at keeping people out of hospitals, according to a study released Wednesday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The researchers looked at infections and hospitalizations among 1.1 million vaccinated and unvaccinated people, with and without prior infection. COVID-19 cases and hospitalization rates were highest amongst unvaccinated people with no prior infection. Unvaccinated people who had already survived COVID-19 had higher hospitalization rates than vaccinated people initially, although that shifted months later as vaccine effectiveness waned and the Delta variant surged, before most Americans were eligible for booster shots. This is according to CNN and the CDC. Number 10, Lucia Harris, the queen of basketball, dies at 66. Lucia Harris, the only woman ever drafted by an NBA team, has died at age 66. Her family confirmed in a statement Wednesday. The family noted in a statement that Harris died unexpectedly not long after receiving an, quote, outpouring of recognition, end quote, due to the short 2021 documentary, The Queen of Basketball, which told her story. Harris led Delta State to 3 consecutive AIAW National Collegiate Championships from 1975 to 1977. A 6'3" center who averaged 25.9 points and 14.5 rebounds per game, she was named an All-American 3 times. She was drafted by the New Orleans Jazz in the 7th round of the 1977 NBA draft, but didn't try out for the team because she was pregnant. She also played on the inaugural U.S. Olympics women's basketball team, which won a silver medal in Montreal. This is according to Yahoo Sports. That's 10 things you need to know today for Thursday, January 20th, 2022. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate that so much. This is What Makes You Smarter. My name's Dan, KeysDAN. You can call me Dan. My mama calls me Dan. I guess she calls me Danny most of the time. Hey, if you're in the Central Arkansas area and you feel like going out and doing some karaoke, come on out to the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. My usual Friday night gig. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. They got pool tables, full bar, kitchens open, and of course, karaoke, the video dance party karaoke jam with yours truly. Come on out. It's a good time. This has been What Makes You Smarter. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all that kind of thing. If you like the sound of my voice, hey, maybe we'll learn something together. Find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch using the hashtag What Makes You Smarter. And if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Or you can find me gaming from time to time using the hashtag KeysDAN Gaming. This has been What Makes You Smarter. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.